everybody, and welcome back to A Quarter Words and Pages. My name is Natalie. So today is the first in what is hopefully going to be a line of many weekly reading vlogs. So weekly reading vlogs are some of my favorite videos to watch on BookTube, and they just bring me so much comfort and joy to watch, and I always watch them and go, oh, I wish I could do those. So I'm going to attempt to do that. I've tried to do these in the past, but they just have never worked out. I don't start them on Mondays. I just can't keep it up throughout the week. So I've decided. I have 8 weeks left of school. For the next 8 weeks, I want to do reading vlogs and weekly reading vlogs. Then over the summer, I can do whatever I want. Weekend reading vlogs, 24-hour reading vlogs, and maybe still some weekly reading vlogs. But for these next 8 weeks, I want to get into the habit of weekly vlogging. So now, into the books that I'm planning to read this week. It is currently Monday, April 26th, so I'm actually starting this on a Monday, which is very good. It's like 9, so it's quite late. It's a bit late to be doing this, but I knew if I didn't do it today, I wouldn't do it at all this week because I have a track meet tomorrow after school, so I'll be just gone for most of tomorrow, so I wouldn't want to start this when I got home. But if I just have to update instead of like introduce it all, that should go fine. So the first book and the priority for these like next 2 days is The Lady of the Rivers, which is by Philippa Gregory. And in this book we follow Jacquetta, who I'm not quite sure if she's a duchess, but she's the daughter of kind of one of the lords of England that rule in France. And as a young girl, she is married off to the Duke of Bedford, who is the English regent in France. And from there, we're kind of following her life story as he actually eventually dies. Well, he introduces her kind of the world of alchemy, and then he dies, and so she marries his squire, Richard Woodville, and then they become ingrained in the court politics, and eventually kind of get ingrained with Margaret of Anjou and King Henry into the War of the Roses, or the Cousins' War, and it's just kind of following her life story. I have about 70 or so pages left of this. I wasn't planning on originally reading this like right now. I had another book I was going to read before this, but then my library copy of this, it's actually due tomorrow on Tuesday, and I don't have any renewals left, so I'm like, oh, well, I need to read this. I'm not going to be able to finish this in time, but I want to get this read in back at the library by Wednesday. So that's my plan. I have about 70 pages between tonight and tomorrow, and maybe a little bit of Wednesday morning. I think I can do that. So this will be the book I read at home. However, I can't get an e-copy of this, so I can't read it at school. So instead, what I'll be focusing at school on is The Assassin's Blade, which is by Sarah J. Maas. This is the first it's a set of prequel novellas, 5 prequel novellas set in the world of Throne of Glass, and we're following Selena Sardothian, who is the world's most famous and feared assassin, and it's just following her on these 5 missions she takes. And it's also following her and her relationship with Sam, who is a fellow assassin in training. And these stories lead up kind of to the beginning of Throne of Glass in that series. So I'm currently rereading this because I am starting a reread of the series, a book a month. So this is my April book. So I've currently read 3 out of the 5 stories. So I am about not there. Here, Assassin in the Underworld, which is page 229, so I'm a bit over halfway through with this. Really enjoying it so far. I'm finding I'm not loving it as much as I did the first time, but still thoroughly enjoying. So I'll be focusing on this at school. And then the final book that I definitely have scheduled in for this week is one that I've definitely let go a bit long. It's my classic for the month. I was very undecided on my classic. Going into this month, I actually really had no idea what I wanted to read, and then I just didn't pick something until now we're in the last week of the month. I have to be very conscious about how long something I choose to read is. So I've decided to go for a bit of an easier one, but I think it's going to be a fun one to read. And that is The Magician's Nephew, which is by C.S. Lewis. This is kind of the first book in the Narnia series, or kind of a prequel one. So I have read, I want to say the first 3 books in Narnia, but one of my goals for like the last few years has always been to completely read the series. Now I would say this is a more modern classic, but it's a fantasy classic, so I'm going to read this. It's not very long, it's a bit over 200 pages, so yes, maybe if I have time, I'll also throw in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe this week. So, because like these are shorter, so to add 2 of them in, maybe a bit better. But so, I honestly have no idea what this book is about. Here we go. I can read you the little inside flap. The secret passage to the house next door leads to a brand new world. Narnia, where horses sometimes grow wings and talking beasts are called to life. A new world full of magic where the adventures begin. Diggory and Polly meet and become friends one cold, wet summer in London. Their lives burst into adventure when Uncle Andrew, who thinks he is a magician, sends them hurtling into somewhere else. They find their way into a new land, Narnia, but when they awaken an evil sorceress, Polly and Diggory are sent on a quest to stop her before she destroys the world they've just discovered. So I think this is just kind of a prequel novel introducing you to Narnia, so I think this one will be a fun time. So I do have some other books that I will be planning on reading this week. We'll see how much reading I can get done because, like I mentioned, I have a track meet tomorrow on Tuesday, and then I also have a track meet Thursday and a track meet Saturday, so it's track meet week. So we'll just see how much reading I can get done. So yes, I will check in with you all tomorrow with hopefully a reading update. Hey, so it's currently Tuesday, the 27th. I need to stop like updating at night because it's like once again 9:20. I feel like I look exactly the same as I did in the last clip, but it's fine. So my track meet ran very, very long today. Was not expecting that, so very tired. Not quite sure how much reading I'm gonna get done tonight, but certainly will try to read some more. But I was like in the sun a lot, so I'm just like kind of ready to go to sleep. But reading updates, I have them. First off, Assassin's Blade. I read the next story, which was The Assassin in the Underworld. I liked that one. And that one we're back in Adderland. Is that how you call it? I don't know. It's focusing a lot on Sam and Selena, so I enjoyed that. Just have the last story. This much, just over 100 pages or so, I think. Yes. So hopefully I'll be able to finish this one tomorrow, Thursday. It's fine. Lady of the Rivers. Nope. I maybe read a bit more this morning, so I'm really down to like 50 pages. So that's not too bad. I'll try to read some more of this tonight and then finish it off tomorrow morning. So this will get done. But so last night I was too tired and I didn't want to read Lady of the Rivers, so I read some more of a book I started last week, and that is Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson. I read up to like the page 100 mark. And so in Grown we followed Enchanted Jones, who was an inspiring singer, and then she met Corey Fields, who's this like big hotshot in the music industry, and he kind of like becomes her manager, takes her under his belt, and she gets wrapped up into his life, and then he's found dead, and she maybe killed him. Yeah, so I am enjoying this so far. It's uncomfortable to read because you know it's not headed anywhere good, but you still like the main character. So I'm enjoying this. I'm on page 100. It's only like 363 pages, so I also do want to try to finish this one this week after everything else. I actually probably wasn't gonna pick up this one this week. I think, well, maybe I was, but after I finished Lady of the Rivers, what I really wanted to read is The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. That's not happening anymore. I thought I had another loan on this, renewal of my loan, whatever it's called. But then someone requested this copy of it. There's 3 different listings for this book on my library. One has 3 different copies of it, one has 1 copy, and then the listing I have is just this 1 copy because it's a paperback copy, so for some reason they listed it differently. It's very obvious that this copy is in. There are 3 copies of like the hardcover that are in. But of course, the lovely person decided to request the copy I have out. So now I can't renew it again, which is kind of annoying. So I requested one of the 3 hardcover copies are in, so that'll just get pushed back a wee bit. Kind of annoyed about that, because I really wanted to read this. But so yeah, that's kind of my plans. Hopefully going to try to finish Lady of the Rivers by tomorrow morning. So maybe I'll check in with you tomorrow morning when I have finished that. But that's kind of what's happening. I still need to pick up The Magician's Nephew, but honestly, I just can't be bothered at the moment. Tomorrow. I feel like I've had a pretty successful last few reading days. Alright, well, see you tomorrow. Alright, hi, it's Wednesday. Finally, I'm not doing an update at like 9 p.m. That is my goal. Well, that was my goal for today. So I don't have like a major reading update. I did not read anything after I talked to you guys last night. I went to sleep. But today I have read a bit of The Lady in the Rivers. I am now on page like 401 or something too. So I have like 30-ish pages left. Yeah, like 35 pages. And the ending I think is going to be like a lot of action stuff. So hopefully I should be able to read it pretty fast. I'm a bit concerned because 30 pages seems like a lot to wrap up with where we currently are in the book, but I'm sure it will get done. And I'll probably update you guys again when I finish this tonight. Okay, and then I went to the library, so I figured I'd show you what I got. I also went to Target to do some book shopping, but they didn't have a good book selection, and I ended up not getting anything. But so from my library, first up I got The Queen's Assassin, which this was one I just picked up. I wasn't planning on getting it today. I started reading this last summer, but I put it down because I was on vacation and just didn't have the time to finish it. But I will read you the inside cover. Kaladin Holt is the kingdom's deadliest weapon. No one alive can best him in speed, strength, or brains, which is why he's the Hearthstone's Guild's most dangerous member. Cal is also the Queen's assassin, bound to her by magic and unable to leave her service until the task she set for him is fulfilled. Shadow of the Honeyglad has been training all her life to join the guild, hoping that one day she'll become an assassin as feared and revered as Cal. But Shadow's mother and aunts expect her to serve the crown as a lady of the Renovian court. When a surprise attack brings Shadow and Cal together, they're forced to team up as an assassin and apprentice. Even though Shadow's life belongs to the court and Cal's belongs to the queen, they cannot deny their attraction to each other. But now, with war on the horizon and true love at risk, Shadow and Cal will uncover a shocking web of lives that will change their paths for forever. So it sounds good, and I enjoyed the little bit that I read of it. I think the one thing I was waiting kind of was for the sequel to come out so I could read both of them, and the sequel has indeed come out, so I figured it is time to pick this one up. Next up, I got City of Stairs by Robert Jackson Bennett. Once again, one I was not planning to but I've heard a lot of good things about Robert Jackson Bennett, so I figured I'd give something a go. I can't figure out what this is about. Something about gods who once conquered the world and then they were gone or whatever. I'm not quite sure. I don't know, but I've heard a lot of really good things about this one. So, and then the one that I went to the library to get because my hold was in, it was one I have been desperately waiting ever since I first saw, and that is Malice, which is by Heather Walters. And so I will read you the inside cover of this one because it sounds very good. Once upon a time, there was a wicked fairy who in an act of vengeance cursed a line of princesses to die. A curse that could only be broken by true love's kiss. You've heard this before, haven't you? The handsome prince, the happily ever after. Utter nonsense. Let me tell you, no one in Briar actually cares about what happens to its princesses. Not the way they care about their jewels and elaborate parties and charm-granting elixirs. I thought I didn't care either, until I met her. Princess Aurora, the last heir to Briar's throne. Kind, gracious, the future queen her realm needs. One who isn't bothered that I am Elise, the dark grace arbored and feared for the mysterious dark magic that runs in my veins, humiliated and shamed by the same nobles who pay me to bottle hexes and then brand me a monster. Aurora says I should be proud of my gifts, that she cares for me, even though a power like mine was responsible for her curse. But with less than a year until that curse will kill her, any future I might see with Aurora is swiftly disintegrating, and she can't stand to kiss yet another inspired prince. I want to help her. If my powers began her curse, perhaps it's what can lift it. Perhaps together we could forge a new world. Nonsense again, because we all know how the story ends, don't we? Aurora is a beautiful princess, and I am the villain. So it's like a queer Sleeping Beauty retelling, which I am just so excited for. I've heard absolutely amazing things, and I'm very excited. So I should be able to have a pretty good reading evening. Obviously, I have track from like 3-ish till 5:30 maybe, and then I want to finish Lady of the Rivers when I get home. Then I need to finish editing my video and get that ready to go up, and then I'm going to watch some Shadow and Bone because I am on the 4th episode of that and just thoroughly enjoying the TV show. Didn't love Shadow of Bone, love Six of Crows, and loving the show, so there's that. And then either read more of Grown or start The Magician's Nephew. I probably won't read any more of The Assassin's Blade. I wanted to start The Assassin and the Empire, which is the last story, at school today, but I just didn't get the chance because it was only half day, so I didn't have a lot of downtime. So yeah, I will talk to you guys later tonight. Hello, it's still Wednesday. It's like Wednesday night, 8:45 or whatever. I just finished filming my May TBR, which should be up by now, so I will link that down below if you have not seen that. And I wanted to update you and tell you that indeed I did manage to finish The Lady of the Rivers, which is by Philippa Gregory. So I really enjoyed this one. I gave it 4 stars, however, because while I did really enjoy this and the story, I did think they probably put a bit too much in the synopsis, so I very much knew where the story is going, which isn't necessarily a fault of the story, but also I felt like the stakes were never that high, particularly one because I know kind of where the story goes. I've seen the TV show, so I knew where this book was gonna end, but even then I feel like the author could have done better with the stakes. This is kind of told in a first-person point of view, and she never really felt nervous, which kind of seemed a bit weird to me. So, but I still very much enjoyed this. I'm very looking forward to reading the rest of the series. Probably will read The White Queen sometime soon. Probably not in May because I have some other stuff planned for May, but maybe in June. That'll be fun. And now I think I am going to read some more of Grown, and then also start The Magician's Nephew because I have like 3 days to read that one, and I also have a track meet tomorrow. Again, track meets galore this week, so I'm not quite sure how much time I will have to read The Magician's Nephew. I should be able to read some of Grown and The Assassin's Apprentice tomorrow at my track meet, but yes, that appears to be everything I have to update you, so it'll probably be my last update for the night. Happy Thursday, folks. I don't want to be here, I want to be asleep, but I still have more homework to do, so figured I might as well update you guys just to make sure I get one done. So it's like 9:42, so once again, continuing with the late night updates. I had my track meet today, so hence why I'm tired and up late. But I figured I did finish a book today, so I should probably talk about that. And I finished Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson. This does not deserve to be in here. I read most of this at school today just because it was a quick read, and I was able to finish it, and I highly enjoyed it. Oh my god, this book was amazing. Like, heartbreaking to read and just so hard to read, and it's like, this is just such an intense read, and I think Tiffany D. Jackson has content warnings, so mentions of sexual abuse, rape, assault, child abuse, kidnapping, and addiction to opioids, so do be warned before going in that. And she does talk about how this book isn't based on the R. Kelly case, but it is definitely inspired by it, I think. So yeah, it's not about that, but so this book was just so good, and the way Tiffany D. Jackson wrote it, you could understand how Enchantment was getting herself into the situation and how trapped she felt, but while still wanting her safety, and I just thoroughly enjoyed this. I think I'm going to give it 4.5 stars. I'm not quite decided yet. It's like, I don't think it's 4 stars, but it just doesn't have the 5-star feel to it, so I think 4.5 stars. It was a really quick read. Like, I don't know, I read so much of this. So, yeah. And then I read a lot of the Assassin's Blade. Read about half, maybe, of The Assassin and the Empire. No, I read more than half of it. I've read almost all of it. I'm like, I've read this much, and I just have this little chunk to go. I have, like, just under 30 pages of this to go, so I will probably finish this tonight. Very tiring. Well, not tiring. Very sad. There we go. I'm tired. This is sad. I mean, I've just read the part that's terrible and sad, and it's just heartbreaking to have to finish reading this knowing what's gonna happen at the end. I hate rereading this book, but yeah, really enjoying this, and also seeing some foreshadowing or just like hints for stuff that's gonna happen in some later books, which is really exciting. So I want to try to finish this tonight, and then why have I done this? I have to read all of The Magician's Nephew tomorrow. It's not long, it's only like 200 or so pages, and I did get an e-copy of this so I can read it at school tomorrow, so I have this. And yeah, and then I can start on my May TBR on... No, I'm not starting on my May TBR on May 1st. Because why would I do that? I still need to read The Power, which is by I can't say that name. This lady. Ooh, oh, okay. There you go, that lady. Naomi Alderman. There we go. I said it. And it's like set in this world where like women and girls have a power where they can like inflict pain and death. And I actually really need to read this one because I'm borrowing this from my teacher, so I need to get this back to her library. So we'll read this. It doesn't look too long, and I think I can get a e-copy for Saturday because we had a track meet, so I can read the track meet. There we go. And then I can start with my May Then I can start with my May TBR, which is currently all around me. But yes, this is today's update. Hopefully tomorrow night I will come and tell you that I have finished this lovely beauty along with the Assassin's Blade. I can do this. I can get through this. It's not that many pages. Alright, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. I really need to stop checking in so late. Hello everybody and welcome to Friday. It's currently like 10:36 p.m. very late, but I need to check in today because if I don't check in now, then I'm not going to be able to check in until like tomorrow afternoon, evening, because I have track meet. My very first time track meet at like 7:30 a.m. So, reading updates. Also, yeah, it's the 30th, so last day of the month. So, last night I did indeed manage to finish The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. I ended up actually giving this one 4 stars, so this was a lowering in my rating from the initial 5 stars it got, but this just, it wasn't as much as, I didn't like this one as much as I did last time I read it. I think I also preferred the first 3 stories more than the last 2, which is an interesting one. I liked the relationship between Sam and Selena. Like, it'll always be just so sad and all of that good stuff, but no spoilers. I don't know. I didn't like the latter 2 stories as much as I did the first time, so I decided to lower it to a 4 star, but still, reading that last story, knowing where things are going was terrible. But I am very much excited to read Throne of Glass very soon. And then, need to finish this one today, but I am about 125 pages into The Magician's Nephew by C.S. Lewis, the first book kind of in the Lion and the Witch and the Wardrobe or the Chronicles of Narnia series. This is kind of a prequel story, and what's really neat about this one is you learn the story of how Narnia was founded. So I still obviously have a bit left to go, so I still need to like do the conclusion of the story, but I just read the chapter that goes over the foundation and creation of Narnia, and it was amazing. I also have started listening to the audiobook just to kind of have something to do while I had a few other tasks I needed to do that I couldn't read during, so I just popped in an audiobook, and it's narrated by Kenneth Braun, I don't know how to say his name, but he played Lockhart in Harry Potter, and he's been in some other things I've watched, so it's really enjoying the audiobook too, so I'll probably continue listening to that while I do a few more things tonight. Hoping to finish it. I'm gonna get it done, but yes, and then I will hopefully be starting The Power tomorrow, and I maybe will pick up something else along with that. I'm not quite sure yet, but yes, that is indeed my Friday update. Hey, and happy Saturday. So, it's currently like 6:20. Also, welcome to a new view. Didn't feel like filming in front of my bookshelf, so this is where we are right now. So yes, it's like 6:20. I just got back from my track meet about like 20 or so minutes ago. So, yay. It was a long one. It was a really, really long one. Yeah, we were there for a while. And I was sat there for like 6 hours before my race happened. Like, we got there at like 8. My race was like at 2:30, so yeah, it was a good time. But it was fun. Our team did well. We got to cheer on some great performances, so yes, that was exciting. Now, reading updates. Last night, I did indeed manage to finish The Magician's Nephew before midnight last night, and I enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. Like I said before, I really liked the parts about the founding of Narnia, and I like all the foreshadowing and setting up it does continually for the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe in the very end of this book. So I did indeed enjoy this one, and I'm excited to continue on with the Lion, and the Witch, and the Wardrobe sometime soon. I know I said maybe I would read it this week, but I didn't think that's going to happen. But I also did request a loan on the audiobook for this because it's not narrated by the same person, but I thought I requested an audiobook for The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I'm tired. Because it's not narrated by the same person, but I thought the audiobook for this one was really well done, so I figured, maybe the next one will be really well done too. And then I have managed to read 60 pages, or almost 70 pages, of The Power by Naomi Alderman, and I don't have any strong feelings about it so far. There's some writing stuff that it's a bit questionable. I'm just like, okay, well that's kind of interesting, but I'm not very far into this one, so I feel like I can't judge it, but so I will continue working on this one. I didn't really feel like reading this at a track meet, so instead what I read today was I worked on reading The Deal, which is by Elle Kennedy, and in this one we follow Garrett and Hannah, who attend this college. Garrett is a hockey player, and Hannah is just kind of a student there. She really likes music, and Garrett ropes Hannah into Deal, where she's gonna tutor him for like their ethics class that he needs to like do well on retake a midterm to do well, so he has the grades to continue playing. In exchange for that, he'll like kind of fake date her, kind of, so that she can get the attention, or so that some guy that she likes will notice her. And I'm enjoying that. I'm not loving Garrett. And something that really seems to be pointed out a lot about how, Hannah isn't like other girls at this college who are just like throwing themselves at the hockey players. And I'm like, okay. Do we really need to go there? I don't think so. But yeah, I'm enjoying that one. Sorry if I'm like, I'm sitting weirdly, but so yeah, I'm enjoying that one. I don't know how much I'm gonna continue reading it. Like, obviously I'm gonna continue reading it because I'm enjoying it. Okay, this stupid sun. I'm sorry if you can see that. But yeah, pretty much I'm gonna continue reading The Power. Maybe try to finish that tomorrow. I don't know. It's kind of like a slower writing style, so it's taking me longer to read, but we will see what I get done. So yes, that's kind of my update for right now. I don't know if I'll update again tonight. I do want to try to watch Shadow and Bone tonight, so, maybe I'll do that. This is, like, really weird with the sun. I'm sorry if you can, I'm sure you can tell that. But, yes, that is kind of it for right now. And happy May! It's May. Where did April go? I could not tell you. It's supposed to be, like, really warm tomorrow, so I'm going to sit outside, do a lot of reading, but we'll talk about tomorrow. Alright, I'll check in with y'all later. Hey, so, continuing with some different views. It's currently Sunday, and I'm spending the afternoon in my backyard because it is lovely and warm outside. So, I'm taking advantage of the beautiful weather that we're getting in May. But I'm also reading, so I have some reading updates. First off, I have finished The Deal by Elle Kennedy, and I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. I felt like the conflict that kind of drove the couple apart at the end of the book was I thought it was a good one. It just kind of, I feel like it emphasized the importance of communication and talking in relationships. So I enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. Definitely will be looking to continue on with that series. And now today I have just been reading The Power, and I've got to like page 115, and I'm enjoying this so far. I'm not 100% sold on it. The writing style is a bit confusing, and I'm not sure I love it. It can be a bit hard sometimes to figure out what's going on, and I'm definitely not feeling connected to any of the characters, but I'm not quite sure if you're supposed to. So I'll definitely be continuing reading that, and I'm just going to spend a nice chill day reading. I do have a tiny bit of homework I need to get done, but nothing major, so yeah, I'll update you guys later tonight. Hello, it is currently Sunday evening, about 8:30, and I figured it's time to wrap up this vlog. Please ignore my bookshelves behind me. They're a wee bit of a mess. I need to do some reorganizing, but I figured I should come in and wrap up the final book I managed to read, and that was The Power by Naomi Alderman. I always have struggle saying that name. I did in fact manage to finish this one today, and I wanted to give you all my thoughts. So, I enjoyed this, but not as much as I wanted to. I think I enjoyed the concept of this book a lot, and a lot of what was done in it I enjoyed. Just the main thing that left me feeling really detached from the book was 2 things. First off, the characters. I just didn't feel anything for any of the characters, and I found it so hard to understand their motives or root for them and what they were actually trying to do. And then B, the writing style. I didn't love it. It wasn't like, I'm not quite sure what it was. I don't know how to describe it, but it was strange, and I think that was also part of the reason why I found it hard to, we follow 4 so main characters in this book, and so it would be a chapter about Margot, but we'd be in the perspective of someone else. Still kind of connected to Margot sometimes, but also sometimes not. So the writing style was a bit confusing, but I think this book said some really interesting things. It had a lot to say about society and the way our society is run and how things would be different depending on who has power and if the power balances between men and women were kind of shifted. So very interesting book. I gave it 3 stars, enjoyed it, but some things that I did not enjoy as much. And yes, that brings me to the end of this vlog. So what did I manage to read this week? Boy, I'm not entirely sure. So I read a lot of books, I think. First off, I finished The Lady of the Rivers by Philippa Gregory, and then I read Grown, then I finished The Deal, read not The Handmaid's Tale, I'm just reading off the back of this, The Power, and I feel like there was one other thing I read, but did I read anything else? Oh, The Magician's Nephew, there we go, I read that too. So yes, thank you all so much for watching this weekly reading vlog. I think I am going to continue to do these next week. I feel like I read a lot and I was like motivated to read so I can like talk to you guys about the books. I definitely want to try to like stop just updating at night, although with my schedule that can be a bit tricky to do sometimes. But yeah, I mean, track will be over in a few weeks, so it should get a bit easier to stop updating at night only. Thank you guys so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below to see more content from me. Down below you will find links to all of the books I talked about in this vlog, as well as my Bookstagram and my Goodreads if you want to follow me there. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!